everyone, and welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 7-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. Before we get into it, if you do enjoy the content at any point in this video, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. That would be greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me about 66% of my audience does not subscribe to my channel. So if you haven't watched the content and you are enjoying it, or if you're new to the content and this is the first time you see me and you enjoy it during this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. A few announcements before we get into the breakdown. Number one, I do have a Patreon package over here on Patreon where you can get access to my premium NBA projections, my player stats, team stats, play context stats, core plays, injury impact insights, and NBA Discord chat access. Got about 11 members over there right now. Thank you to everyone that has joined. It's a package that I've put together to offer you everything that these other big sites offer you, where they charge you, $30, $40 a month for projections, rankings, data, and all that stuff. I've gone ahead and I've put together some sheets that offer some stuff that they don't even offer, some projections and stuff at a much more affordable price to try to help you guys out, to try to give back to the DFS community and try to get a community going as far as, KJK DFS and get some people over there that are knowledgeable about DFS so we can all talk about things, build our lineups together, that kind of thing. So if you are interested, that's linked below in the description. And I have recently partnered with Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy is a players prop app where you can download on the Google Play Store, the iOS Apple Play Store, or you can go online. They have player prop contests. So how it works is they do have tournaments kind of similar to a DraftKings and a FanDuel. It's based on player props though, so you get points based out of 200 points. If an event is more likely to occur, you'll get less points. If it's less likely to occur, you'll get more points. You have to pick 10 out of 20 options that they give you every single day. To get to the top of the leaderboards, they do offer a $500 first place in prize in their biggest contest. And there's a lot less competition over here, guys, unlike, DraftKings and FanDuel, where you're taking on thousands of people and all those sharks. This is the biggest tournament they have. There's only 110 entries. And they will match you up 100% deposit bonus with the promo code KJK DFS. So if you're interested in checking that out, go ahead. Not to mention the props lobby. This is probably my favorite part of it, a part that I think is really cool. It's like a parlay type of thing where you can pick 2 out of 2 people correctly, you get 3.6x of your money out of the entry. Pick 3 out of 3, you get 6.2x. And pick 4 out of 4, and you get 11 times your money. So if I were to place a bet here, I select 4 places. I really want to win a big one. I hit submit. You can see if I bet $1, I would win $11. If I go ahead and put in $5, I would win $55, and so on. Of course, if you put in $10, you'd win $110. So a really cool thing they have going on over there. I'm excited to be partnering with them. And again, if you are interested in checking out Thrive Fantasy, use promo code KJKDFS, and they will match you 100% your first deposit with a $20 minimum deposit up to $50. They'll match whatever you throw in there. So that is all of my announcements before we get into this one. All that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and start breaking down this slate today. So first game on the slate is Miami taking on Brooklyn. James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving look like they're all going to be in this one after Kevin Durant getting the rest last night. 10-5, 10-4, and 8-9 for all these guys. I had mentioned last night that I really had most interest in Kyrie Irving because of his price tag. And then, of course, after I recorded the video, it ended up being that Kevin Durant was out as well. So that made Kyrie Irving even easier of a play. The only thing that kept him from really going off is the game getting away a little bit at the end. But he put up 49.75 DraftKings points. And I think we're going to continue to see 50-point upside from Kyrie Irving. Kevin Durant, James Harden, of course, the appeal's a little limited with all these guys are in. I do tend to lean Kevin Durant over James Harden simply because I think the way this team's going to be designed, James Harden and Kyrie are going to be kind of feeding into each other's usage or taking away from one another as far as on-ball handling duties, whereas Kevin Durant's much more of a low-post player, so no matter what's going on or no matter who's handling the ball up top, no matter what, Kevin Durant's going to get the ball his way. So Kevin Durant, definitely my favorite of the big three in Brooklyn. As far as anyone else you're looking to play on their team, not really all too sure you're looking to go there. I mean, you could play DeAndre Jordan, Joe Harris, Jeff Green. These are the 3 guys that are getting all the minutes, the complementary players to the big 3. So could play Joe Harris at 5'5". I think it's really good at shooting the 3-pointer, but I think with these 3 guys teaming up for Brooklyn, and the usage is going to be so condensed, and the ball is going to be constantly in one of those 3 ball handlers' hands. So not really all too interested. On the Miami side, Jimmy Butler is questionable to return in this one. He was out last time. He's questionable to return. If he's back and they say he's a good go, maybe we'd have some interest. But he's been out since the 9th of January, so I have a feeling if he's back, he's going to be somewhat limited. So it's going to be hard to go in all in on him. But I will say he's only priced at 7.4. So if we get some news that he's like a full go, I would love him at that price tag. Tyler Hero continues to be out, so that's going to make me have interest in Goran Dragic here at this 6.2 price tag. He has been priced down around, high fives to 6K. Now he's up to 6.2, so a little bit of a price increase, but you still got to like him. He's getting around 30 minutes a game. A lot of usage to go around at the guard position with no Tyler Hero, so I like him. Alongside Duncan Robinson and Kendrick Nunn, these are the three I'd be looking to. Duncan Robinson, a very good three-point shooter. He is priced all the way up to 5'9", and he hasn't really had a big game in quite some time now, but that's how he's going to get you there. He's going to get hot from behind the arc and get you there. And then Kendrick Nunn, more of a dual threat. He would be my favorite of the three for sure, based on price tag and based on his performance and new role lately with no Tyler Hero. 34, 35, and 39 minutes. He's put up 34.75, 47, and 40 DraftKings points. So you got to like Kendrick Nunn a lot there. Bam Adebayo would be the last guy I mentioned at 8.5. I definitely would have some interest in Bam. I'm not all too worried about DeAndre Jordan's defense. Not exactly the best around the rim defender, so Bam Adebayo could definitely have a big game in this one as well. Philadelphia taking on Detroit. Joel Embiid at the top at a 10K price tag. This game right now comes in with a 8.5 point spread in favor of the Philadelphia Sixers. Detroit, a team that's been getting blown out quite frequently here as of late. Not exactly the best team in the league. So take that for what you will. Joel Embiid is probably the guy that's my favorite on the Philadelphia side. He's priced up for a reason, putting up 63 and 58 DraftKings points the last two times out. I will say that it is a back-to-back, so I'm guessing that Joel Embiid may be rested in this one. And if he is, Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris become priorities, because Ben Simmons is going to get a lot more rebound volume. He's going to get a lot more volume overall, rebounds, assists, points, usage. I would like Ben Simmons a lot at 8.2, and I would like Tobias Harris a lot at 7.1. So keep an eye on that news if Embiid gets rested. I have a feeling that he's going to, just because they don't really need his presence against Detroit. They can still beat him without Embiid is my guess. And then not to mention if Embiid gets ruled out, that's going to give a big bump up to guys like Blake Griffin, guys like Jeremiah Grant, guys like Mason Plumlee on the Detroit side, because that's just going to make it all that much easier to get to those rebounds, get those points inside in the paint against the Sixers team. So I'd like all these guys, and I like all of them anyways. I mean, the Detroit side, it's pretty easy to narrow down who you like. It's all the guys that are priced up, but they're all decently priced, so if it's a close game, they could definitely go off. You got Jeremiah Grant, Blake Griffin, Mason Plumlee, and Derrick Rose. That's really what it comes down to. And then, of course, Dwight Howard would become a viable option at 4.3 if Joel Embiid is out. The backup center, he's going to get more minutes. Last time Dwight was out, he got 34 minutes. He put up 39 DraftKings points, so I would like Dwight Howard. And, yeah, I mean, you can play Seth Curry at 5.3. He'd be the last guy I'd mention. Very good three-point shooter. Can get it rolling for you from behind the arc, and a Shake Milton. But the guard usage is going to be kind of pretty packed if Embiid's out. I have more interest in the big guys. A guy like Ben Simmons, a guy like a Dwight Howard. Those would be the guys that are really popping for me if Embiid's rested in this one. New Orleans at Minnesota. This game comes in right now with a 222.5 over-under with an 8-point spread in favor of the New Orleans Pelicans. So a game that might get out of hand as far as the Pelicans blowing out the Minnesota side, but I'm not too worried about it, and I love targeting this Minnesota team. I've loved targeting them all season long. It's been working very effectively. So Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson are very big priorities for me. Brandon Ingram has been really struggling. We've finally seen his price tag come down, though. He's been priced like high up 8K range, 9K, and he's probably down to he's finally down to 8.1. And same thing for Zion Williamson. He's all the way down to 7.6 after being way up in the 8K range. So both of these guys get a great matchup. They both get a ton of usage on this team, and I absolutely love them. There is going to be no Karl-Anthony Towns in this one, so you have to like D'Angelo Russell on the other side. He's expected to get a lot of shots, a lot of volume in this one for sure. So I like D'Lo. I like Malik Beasley at 6'8". These are the two main guys I'd be targeting on the Minnesota side outside of Naz Reid. They're both expected to get a ton of shots, and then Naz Reid, of course, is the beneficiary of Karl-Anthony Towns being out, because he's going to get starter minutes. He put up 36.5 DraftKings points last time out. He did get a price tag increase update, 5.8 as opposed to 5.2, but still like him. And then you could play a JJ Redick down here at 3.6 and hope he gets hot from behind the arc, because once again, I mentioned this Minnesota team I really like targeting, and JJ Redick could definitely put up 30 points for you if he gets hot from behind the arc at that 3.6 price tag. So I'd like him, and that's pretty much my interest. A lot of interest in Ingram and Williamson. Eric Bledsoe and Lonzo Ball are interesting options as well. It's just these guys are kind of cutting into one another's usage. Lonzo Ball has been somewhat limited since he's been back, so I'd probably not go there. And then you got Eric Bledsoe, who's getting minutes taken away by guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Josh Hart. So it's really Ingram, Zion, D'Angelo Russell, the pay-up options. I like Steven Adams. I like Naz Reid. I like Malik Beasley. And then you could go to a cheapy option like a J.J. Redick. He makes some sense. Maybe an Ed Davis at 3-4 if we find out he's getting some minutes. He's been into the rotation, but recently they kind of cut him off from that. So probably not looking to go there. Next game, Los Angeles Lakers at the Chicago Bulls. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are both listed as questionable, as they are every single game. I would assume they're both going to be in. I always check just to see if there's any, more things to be concerned about. But no, it looks like there's just, the classic questionable tag that they've been dealing with. Wendell Carter Jr. is questionable, is out. He was out last night. He's doubtful for tonight, so I'd expect him to be out. With him out, we saw some Daniel Gafford run. So Daniel Gafford last night priced at 3-1. Tonight he's priced at 3-2. He's a pretty good play. It's just his upside's kind of capped with his minutes. I mean, he started and he still only got around 20 minutes, and the Bulls got a bunch of bodies back recently. If you aren't aware, Otto Porter coming back. We got Satoransky coming back. Chandler Hutchinson coming back. So a team that was shorthanded is no longer shorthanded, so it's kind of tough to be promoting anyone on this team outside of Zach LaVine, Kobe White, and Lauri Markkanen. They're really my top three guys. Zach LaVine consistently putting up around 50 DraftKings points. This guy's really had a breakout season, so I like him in a game that they're going to need him to stay close. As far as the Vegas is concerned, it's a 9-point spread in favor of the Los Angeles Lakers with a 228.5 over-under. So pretty decent over-under for what we have released so far for lines. Top over-under on the slate so far. I mean, there may be another line that's released that tops it after. But so far, top pace game on the slate. So LaVine, Kobe White, Lauri Markkanen, all three of these guys you got to have interest in. They're the ones that get all the usage. Kobe White putting up 37 DraftKings points last time out. Lauri Markkanen at 6'4". Put up 31 and 28, waiting for a bigger game from him, but his price tag has gone down. I mean, Zach LaVine putting up 1.27 DK points per minute. Very good. So it kind of obvious why I'd be looking to go there. Lauri Markkanen putting up 1.11 DK points per minute. And then you got Kobe White, who's a 0.93 DK points per minute producer. So he's probably my first one I'd fade out of the three based on his price tag and his production. Probably looking to go to Lauri Markkanen, who's a little cheaper at the forward position. And then on the Lakers side, it's pretty obvious. It's LeBron James. It's Anthony Davis. I'm not really trying to go to anyone else. These are the guys that get all the usage in the world on their offenses. They're both priced in the low 9K range, which is pretty good price tags for them considering there's guys priced up like James Harden, Kevin Durant at 10-4 and 10-5, and there's less usage battle for LeBron and Anthony Davis. It's 1 and 2. Both are going to get around mid 30 minutes. 1.47 DK points per minute for LeBron, 1.38 DK points per minute for Anthony Davis. So, you can make these guys a priority on a slate like this, that they might get lower ownership than they should. So, like both of them, you could play a cheaper guy down here in a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. If you want, maybe a Wesley Matthews at 3-3 that are getting some minutes in the Lakers rotation. But it's tough saying who's going to have a big game down there. You're kind of just hoping if you have a last spot to fill in some salary. Houston taking on Dallas in the 9 o'clock game. This game comes in right now with a 10.5-point spread in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks expected to win this game pretty easily. Christian Wood is questionable. He's very doubtful for Saturday, so I'd pretty much just rule him out. John Wall continues to be out, so we're going to kind of have the same story that we had last night. A lot of usage to go around for Houston. We got Victor Oladipo, Eric Gordon, DeMarcus Cousins, Jayshawn Tate. That I'm really going to have interest in. PJ Tucker at 3.9 you could play him, but he's typically not a very good fantasy point per minute producer. He did put up 30.25 DraftKings points last night, so a lot more rebounds coming his way and that kind of thing with no Christian Wood. So maybe he's more of a sneaky play than we would typically think. David Nuaba having a big game last night at his price tag. He put up 35.75 DraftKings points. Once again, a guy that I typically would not be targeting. I think that's a little bit of an outlier. I'd rather go to a Sterling Brown or a Ben McLemore on DraftKings. Both of these guys produce at a better rate. So, I don't know. Tough saying. Nuaba and PJ Tucker are going to get their minutes because of their defensive abilities. They're very good defenders, so they need them out there on the court. But top options are obviously Victor Oladipo, Eric Gordon, DeMarcus Cousins, Jayshawn Tate. I mean, they're priced accordingly, but there's a reason for that. These are the ones getting all the usage. You got to love Oladipo at his 7.9 price tag. Eric Gordon at 6K is very good on DraftKings, where you get that half-point bonus for three-pointers. That's all he does is shoot threes. Expect him to be shooting a ton of those tonight. DeMarcus Cousins, very good all around. He'll get you the rebounds. He'll get you the points. He's going to get you three-pointers as a big man. He was only priced at 4.4 last night, and he put up 36.25 DraftKings points, so you would have been happy with that. Now he's up to 5.1, so a little more difficult to be there, but, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if we don't get any news that he's limited, he's still all-in play. Jayshawn Tate putting up 30 DraftKings points last night on timeout. You get to go to him again. And, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how my projections grade out in the end with all these guys, so keep an eye on that if you're a patron of mine, for sure. See who the top option is as far as, you know, my projection model and all that stuff. That factors in the over-unders, the usage rate, all of that stuff. So really rely on those projections. Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis on the other side. This might be a rest game for Kristaps Porzingis on a back-to-back. I would not be surprised if he's resting. So keep an eye on that one. If he is out, that's going to give more usage to guys like Willie Cauley-Stein, like a James Johnson. Josh Richardson and Dorian Finney-Smith are questionable in this one alongside Maxi Kleber. So keep an eye on them. If they all come back, that's going to, you know, really limit my appeal as far as targeting anyone on this team outside of Luka. But if they continue to be out and we get news that Kristaps is resting, you could definitely be playing a Tim Hardaway Jr., a Trey Burke, a James Johnson, a Jalen Brunson. All these guys are going to soak up that usage with no Kristaps if the rest of the team remains out as well. Of course, Luka is the most obvious play at the top. You got to like Luka at 10-7. The only problem, the only thing that's going to be holding Luka back is the blowout. But I have a feeling if there's a blowout, it's going to be a lot because of Luka's doing. He's going to get you the points, the rebounds, the assists. Last time out, missing a triple-double by 1 rebound. So you got to like Luka tonight. Just the only thing that's keeping me off him is a blowout. I'd like him even more if Kristaps Porzingis is out. So we got to kind of hope Kristaps is out to play some Luka. But like I said, a strong case for him being rested tonight. Denver at Phoenix. At the top, we got Nikola Jokic at 10-8. This game comes in right now with a 218.5 over-under with a half-point spread in favor of the Denver Nuggets. So expected to be a very slow-paced game. A very close game, though, so Nikola Jokic's services will be needed, so you like to see that. The only problem is the pace, but he just took on this Phoenix team and put up 62 DraftKings points. So he could definitely still get you there. I mean, this guy's per-minute production is absolutely ridiculous. Right now, he's putting up 1.72 DK points per minute. I got him projected in the mid-30s for minutes. So, yeah, that's going to be a lot of DraftKings points coming your way. He is priced accordingly. You know, he's 10-8 for a reason. And if this game were faster paced, I'd have a lot more interest in him. So, depending upon the value and stuff, we do have those value options on the Rocket side with their team being short on guys. And some possible Dallas Mavericks value. So, if that opens up for us, I would absolutely love putting Jokic in my lineup. It's just if we don't have a ton of value on the slate, he's priced up at 10-8, and it's a slower paced game, so I'm probably not looking to go there. It's going to be value dependent on if I'm playing Jokic tonight. Devin Booker is questionable after suffering a hamstring injury, and I would guess that he is not going to play in this one. So that's going to make me like DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder. All these guys are going to get a usage bump, as well as Cameron Johnson. So here's some more value for you in this one, I guess. Cameron Johnson seeing 28 and 32 DraftKings points. 32 minutes the last few times out. He's put up 22 and 10 DraftKings points, so not really having big games. But Chris Paul is going to get a big bump in usage in this one with no Devin Booker, so I'm absolutely going to love Chris Paul at his 7-1 price tag. Put up 40 DraftKings points last time out. I'd expect him to be able to get up to 50+ in this one with no Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton, even though he's a big guy, he will get more looks his way. He's put up 62 and 48 DraftKings points, and he's still priced in only the mid-7K range, so I really like DeAndre Ayton in this one. And then Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder. These are the two guys, a ton of minutes for Mikal Bridges. 41, 34, 31 minutes the last 3 times out. He put up 51 DraftKings points the last time out, so I like him a lot even more with no Devin Booker. And Jay Crowder. He only got 19 minutes last time out. I expect him to get more minutes and more usage for sure. As far as anyone on the cheap end, you could be looking to a Cameron Payne who could possibly get more minutes in this one with no Devin Booker at 3.9. Cameron Payne, traditionally, a pretty good DraftKings player. Not exactly the best real-life player, kind of just more of a free-for-all, get-you-buckets player, but that doesn't hurt our feelings in our DraftKings lineup. So Cameron Payne could be an interesting option as well. It'll be interesting to see how he grades out my final projection run. But yeah, Some big usage bumps for the guys on Phoenix. On Denver, it's more pretty clear cut. Michael Porter Jr. is back now. So that's cutting into the usage of the guys that we were seeing some more usage from, like a Will Barton, like a Jamal Murray. I mean, this Denver team's just so deep. It's kind of tough to go to anyone here outside of Nikola Jokic. I mean, you could play Jamal Murray for sure. He's only at 6'7" now. He was at 7K last time. He put up 46 DraftKings points. At only 6'7", I'd have a lot of interest in him because of his price tag going down. And he's going to get usage no matter what, just naturally being the point guard in this team. So I'd like him. Paul Millsap at 5'4", was interesting. But like I said, Michael Porter Jr. being back, all these minutes being dispersed, you're kind of having a hard time picking anyone. You got Monte Morris, Gary Harris, PJ Dozier. There's just so many guys to be given the rock on this offense. So Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are my main targets on that team. And lastly, last game on the slate, Golden State taking on Utah. Steph Curry at the top at a 9.5 price tag. This game comes in right now with a 225 over-under with a 6.5-point spread in favor of the Utah Jazz, which is immediately going to make me like Stephen Curry, because pretty much the only thing that keeps me from playing this guy is whether the Warriors are going to get blown out or not, and this game's expected to stay close. So Steph Curry at a 9.5 price tag, I would expect to have a good game in this one for sure. Getting around mid-30 minutes. Hasn't exactly shot the three ball the best the last 4 times out, but if he does get hot, he has 60-plus DK points upside very easily, so I like Stephen Curry a lot. Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, guys that are getting lots of usage as well, and Donovan Mitchell's been priced up in the low 8K range. He's finally down to 7.9 now, put up 55 DraftKings points last time. After recently getting interviewed by Shaquille O'Neal, I don't know if anyone saw that, and Shaquille's like, Donovan Mitchell's a good player, but he doesn't have what it takes to get to the next level. A lot of people are speculating that's going to light a fire under Donovan Mitchell, so I guess there's a narrative for you if you're interested in that. But based on price tag and based on fantasy point per minute, I really like Donovan Mitchell at 7.8 in this one. Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley. Rudy Gobert, the only thing I'm concerned about with him is possibly getting run off the court in this one. Because, with the Golden State side playing, more so small ball, you got Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, these small wings, Draymond Green. The Utah side might elect to go to guys like a Royce O'Neal, like a Joe Ingles more so in this game. So Rudy Gobert, I kind of am going to say don't play him. Probably play one of those other guys. Mike Conley at 6'6" is an interesting play. He can definitely get you there at that price tag. And then I like Jordan Clarkson a lot off the bench as the 6th man. He can get hot real quick, and he gets all the usage in the world when he comes in off the bench, so I like him a lot at 6'3". Kelly Oubre, Draymond Green are interesting options, both getting around 30 minutes a game or so, but kind of cutting into each other's usage. So I'd say more than likely only one of them is going to get there for you. James Wiseman, same thing. I could see this game going rather small, so you could play a James Wiseman at 5'2", but he has been priced at 4.6 and 4.5. He's putting up 33 and 29 DraftKings points the last 2 times out, but he was a much better price tag. And as mentioned, Joe Ingles and Royce O'Neal, I think are interesting options in this one because I think the game could go smaller, and that could really benefit both of these guys. So maybe playing them over, a Rudy Gobert. Joe Ingles would be my favorite option. And lastly, Bojan Bogdanovic, at 5'6", makes some sense as the 3-point shooter that could stay out there on the floor as well. Only problem with him is he's very, very scoring dependent, so you're going to need him to get you buckets. So with all of that out of the way, that's my overall breakdown. I got to give you guys my lock of the night. If you're new to the channel, every time I'm going to be giving you a lock of the night. Let's get into it. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be no other than Zion Williamson. Zion priced at the 7.6 price tag. As mentioned, taking on this Minnesota team that I mentioned I am not afraid of targeting at all this year. I've had a lot of interest in playing anyone and everyone against this Minnesota squad. And the guy in Zion Williamson who's been priced up, in the 8K range is finally down to 7.6. I love this price tag. I love this matchup for him. Getting around mid-30s, I absolutely think he's going to smash in this matchup. Last time out, Zion Williamson was my lock of the night. He ended up being a late scratch, so excited to go back to the well. Love Zion Williamson in this matchup. I think he's going to absolutely kill that 7.6 price tag tonight, and he is my lock of the night. So there you have it, guys. Zion Williamson, get him in your lineups at this 7.6 price tag. That is all from me in this one. If you did enjoy the content, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. And then don't forget to check out my Patreon package, link below in the description if you're interested in some further content from me. And check out Thrive Fantasy. Use promo code KJK DFS to receive a 100% deposit match up to $50 when you deposit $20 or more today. Wish you guys all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.